Yeah, we're ready to do this. Happy Friday. Happy summer solstice. Happy longest day of the year. Happy birthday to my husband, Rob. Lots of
Happy
things
birthday.
happening today on this Friday for another episode of Staffing Mania Live. In this corner over here, we have Richard Rosner, the staffing shark. Richard.
Oh, yeah. To all my StaffingManiacs out there, are you ready for today? Woo! Woo! Yes, it's Friday, and we're like the only ones on Friday at this time. Everybody else has already got happy hour going on boats. And Amy, you know what? My boat's coming pretty soon, so we gotta.
Yeah, we're going to keep this short and sweet because Richard has a boat to catch and some possible land sharks to consume. So
You
we
know it.
definitely don't want to delay the official start of summer today, June 21st. But thanks for sticking around for a few more minutes to wrap up the week and finish strong in this world of staffing that we are continuing to navigate and find ways for you to be successful and to be the master of your ring, whether your ring is recruitment, sales, account management, credentialing, whatever the element is, help you be a master of it in your own right. The GOAT, the greatest of all time when it comes to staffing and staffing success. So, Richard, today, I know you have some thoughts on your mind, but today we are talking all about creativity, but specifically nurturing your relationships. That's kind of been a trend that we've been talking about the last few weeks. We focused a lot on branding your brand, how you make connections, how you stand out in a noisy world, how you can have a voice when you're not talking or be recognized when you're not the one sharing the information.
Yeah.
And so today we're just going to take it one step further and say, you've put in the work. Hopefully you've taken some of our advice. You've put in the work and you're starting to build your brand. You're starting to find different ways to put yourself out there and to be seen and heard. But now that you've done that, now it's time to level it up, to start making some of those more meaningful connections. Because at this day and age, I think as we were just talking about a few minutes ago, it is no longer the road to success or the ring to success to being a world champion in the staffing arena is not a numbers game, but a nurturing and a connection game.
You got that right. And we're just going to go. I'm not going to mention the person's name, but there was a gentleman on LinkedIn now. He's a business development person. And a couple of things that hit me, Amy, we got to talk about right off the bat is pretty much in the conversation. I mean, he went back and forth and a couple other people, that. And we all agreed on it that, community branding and being an influencer, staffing influencer is part of the sales department. And he came back and said, no, that's the marketing department. And I said, no. This is the disconnect that we have in the staffing industry, guys. I got to tell you over and over again, I see this. And the reason why I don't really study the staffing industry, as Amy knows, I study all the other businesses like Netflix, Chick-fil-A. That's where I get all my info to give you guys the best way because we're a little bit behind times when it comes to this stuff. We think dropping 300 contacts a week, soliciting people, they don't want that, Amy. And I reached out, to him nicely, in my shark way. And dude, we're going to talk next week. But I kind of told him, I said, dude, the front line of any staffing firm is the recruiters and the business development or sales, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it biz D. I hate sales because we're not a pimp, we're not selling bodies. So at the end of the day, that's what it's about. But once again, these leaders keep thinking that the marketing department has to be out in the field because they have no clue how to connect with the community. They're just putting now hiring signs and posting like that. That's not what community branding is about or how to be different, what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I would even take it a step further, Richard. And what I really say, we talk about a lot in the training and the coaching that we do on the Painted Porch is that every single person within your organization is an influencer in some way. Every single person, whether you have direct contact with a client or with your talent or whomever, everyone is making an impact on your brand and on your reputation. So if you think that it's isolated just to one group, number one, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. But number two, you're actually missing the potential to truly be a differentiator in your market and in your industry. If you say it's just marketing's job to get the word out, good luck.
Get the word out, and you got everybody else. Like, influencers are everywhere. We have to start using that word in our industry. I know everybody wants to say you're a recruiter and all that. You got to get yourself a tag name. You got to be different. Companies out there, Amy, they got to let you actually go and let them go and on their social media and throw stuff out there. I know they want to box them in and say, well, we have our own page. That doesn't cut it anymore. Just a business page on Facebook, the organic reach is horrible. You know what I mean? It's that personal one. I mean, the same way for me, without my personal page, my Staffing Shark page does generate a lot, but my personal one is like a rock star because it's me being that personal brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would say that with that as well, as an organization, if you are limiting your employees' ability to share what they're doing and how, their ways that they can reach out and connect, you are actually limiting your organization's potential to grow. And yes, there is that knee-jerk control reaction that goes, well, we don't know what they're going to say. Or if they make it about them and then they leave, we lose that business. And my answer would be yes, but you benefited from it for quite some time.
You know what? I sum it up like this. Every time you go into a new territory, bring a concert vibe. I do this Kenny Chesney all the time. You know, we're talking about wrestling. Bring that vibe, just like behind us. Bring the audience. And how do you bring an audience? It's not about putting now hiring posts. It's not about the boring stuff. Do we want to just jump in and throw a video out there right now that I'm doing?
Do it. I love it.
Okay, so it's
I love your videos.
90 degrees out here in Pittsburgh. So this is not going to be this is going to be a nice chill. You're going to be cool with this one. So check this out, Amy. You ready?
Look where I'm at, Morgantown, West Virginia. And we are getting hammered by the snow. As you can see behind me, they're plowing big time here. So if you're going out today, be careful. The roads are slick. But as you can tell, look at these snowflakes. They are humongous. I mean, you could even open up your mouth and enjoy a couple. But I just want to tell you all, be safe today. It's a snow day in March in Morgantown, West Virginia. And one important thing. Remember tonight, turn your clocks forward ahead. I'm going to get inside here because it's pounding down here. Maybe I'll like a snowman. Maybe I'll go sled ride. You never know. But enjoy your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Bam. Like that. And then you know what's funny is this Morgantown group here on the X that has like 36,000, subscribers said next year they want me to do the weather report for them. There's my brand. You see, there was nothing about Staffing Shark, just the logo. And you get like 5,000 to 7,000 people watching that. And then I got candidates off that. They're like, because they share. I only shared that one time and it was shared like 27 times by other people. That's what you want.
Yeah. I think for any organization, because I understand they put a lot of stock and often a lot of capital into this idea of their brand. And yes, you want to have a distinct brand. Nike has a distinct brand. Mm-hmm. You talk about Chick-fil-A, a very distinct brand. Yet at the same time, you can allow some flexibility for the individual or for the department to stand out, to make an impact. You can create some frameworks, some boundaries, but don't lock them in a 4x4 cage. And because then how do you stand out? We talked about this a lot the last few weeks, that a majority of what we see out there from a marketing and branding perspective, if you held them up against each other, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between them. So if you think that is a differentiator for you and how you're standing out with your brand, you're not. Your people and their unique abilities and brilliance and genius and skills and talents are what going to help you stand out and create the ultimate goal, which is human to human, person to person relationships and connections.
Bingo. And you know what? That Google image stuff, please stop posting that. People post that Google image. I see same staffing firms posting the same stuff they pull off Google. Hey, you're going to love this, Amy. You ready for another one? I got some clips today. You ready?
All that beautiful bean footage.
Look at this one. Hiring voice.
Look at that.
You know what? These are comical. Here's another one. But you know what? I'm getting so much activity off these. They're recruiting. I put myself in it. You see this, Amy? So I'm putting myself. It's just not like the AI where you're putting a picture out there. You see, I'm in the AI. You ready for this one? You're going to laugh at this one. So, and there's a tag. It's pretty good. I think maybe I should start wearing long hair again. Look at that. There's a Titanic 3. I think I'm going to try to like maybe, audition for it.
I don't know about that. Yeah, like the sequel to Titanic. I don't think it's
but you see what I'm doing. There was a tagline with each one. You see that? Just not a picture of that. You see there was my logo. They get to know who I am when I build my brand. And then I put some kind of inspirational.
Yeah. So Richard, what did you use? What tool did you use to create those?
Oh, that was TuneMe.
TuneMe?
TuneMe. ToonMe.
Okay, because those are really cool, but that's a fun way to stand out. And you have to think, what are ways that you can be creative, that you can be unique, but still stay quote unquote on brand, if you will, but really focused on just creating attraction, creating interest, because all of this is getting people to lean in and say, tell me more. And be creative beyond like, come to Alaska for a nursing position. Here's all the great perks of moving to Alaska. It's like, no, actually be creative with the way that you might entice people to want to come to Alaska. It thinks about just that one extra bit, that one extra touch that you can do to help you stand out and to be different than what everybody else is doing.
You got to be. And like I said, I created myself as the flip-flop, Kenny Chesney, the industry. But I see one guy out there, he wears this like black suits, but he wears like some kind of wild tie all the time with it. So he's trying to build a brand there. Here's another one. So you build all that character of the cartoon, which people love cartoons, but you see on these content that I have, everything has my face in it. It doesn't really have it where it's overboard, where you can't tell who it is. You know what I mean? But then I flip this in and check this out. It's Flip-Flop Fridays in the summertime. Look at this. So now you got me with people I hired. Guess what? This is the money in the bank right here. You see how many people I hired, and look what happens. Summer of hire, you put a tagline, people over and over like, well, I want that handshake too with the shark. It's not about your post by yourself all the time. It's about bringing other people in. And that thing gets shared all the time. It could be a year old and you keep getting it shared. People love that because you see them happy. You see the handshake. You get a little vibe of the summer of hire, of course, summer of love, summer of hire. And we have fun with it. And that's where we have to go, Amy, with this. To be creative is to be different. I don't see staffing firms doing this. They maybe go to like a manufacturing company and they'll take a picture on the assembly line, but they never engage a lot of people. Or they'll take a picture of person got hired by themselves. Where's the recruiter at? Where's the salesperson? Jump in there with them, right? And make it fun. Stick your tongue out or have energy with it. People like that.
Yeah, I think we talked about be their partner, not a placer, right? That was one of the big things that we said, especially from a recruiting side of things. But the same is true for business development. I think where we're losing sight is we're focusing too much on numbers and metrics and not about the meaning behind those numbers and metrics, the ultimate goal and purpose of what we're trying to achieve. We get so focused on making sure that we make X number of phone calls, or that people make X number of phone calls a day or a week. But it's like, in service to what? Where is the most meaningful impact that you can make? And that is going to really ultimately be the road to success, instead of trying to clamor and claw and fight for the same pool of talent and clients. Why don't you be the one that stands out, that is doing something just a little bit different, that is going that one little extra mile? And when I say extra mile, we don't mean like sending them donuts or
who wants a donut of some sort. Come on, Amy. Would I eat a donut? Come on. But all joking aside, but like these cartoon pictures, Amy, I post these in my emails when I throw them out sometimes. I only make maybe 10 phone calls a week when I consult these staffing firms. Dude, but when we get on the phone, we're on there for 20 minutes. We're not like, we don't even talk about staffing. It's about getting to know who they are, and all that. And people don't do that. So many emails I see from my competitors are just like, hey, do you need bodies now? We have some same old stuff. We have 4 engineers. No shit. Indeed has 4 engineers too. Monster has 4 engineers. Okay. It's like, come on, guys and girls, you got to be more creative, and sending your sales reps out day in, day night, dropping swag gear off. most of that swag gear, I'm going to be honest with you, HR people said it sucks. They throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, it goes in the trash. Don't waste your money. If you're going to spend your money on something that is memorable, something that is meaningful, something that can make an impact. And if you don't know where to start, just challenge yourself. I know, I think you've started reading because I sent it to you, but there's this terrific book called Fans First, and it was written by Jesse Cole, who is the founder and leader of the Savannah Bananas, which for those of you who aren't familiar with the Savannah Bananas, Google them. You will be,
if you don't know who they are, you've been under a rock, right? They're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
They are. They have completely changed the game of baseball, literally and figuratively, and they've created a rabid, raving fan base people who are proud to dress up as bananas, unprovoked. They just do it because they love the team and they love the environment so much. And one of the things that they do, they challenge themselves every day. Every single time they have a game, every single day, they come up with something different. What is something we haven't done before? And it's part of their values. It's part of their directives. So every single game that they have, they are creating and coming up with a new idea. And it's trial and error. They're like, every time we do it is the first time we do it. And we don't expect to get it 100% right, but we keep trying, we keep iterating, we keep playing and seeing what sticks. And over time, that creates, number one, it creates a great habit. So that way you're just then in a habit of naturally thinking of what's a creative thing that I can do differently today? What can I say that other people aren't? How can I share this information in a way that other people aren't? And so challenge yourself. Just start really small. Start by saying something very small or doing something that you haven't seen done or that you've really admired that another industry has done, right? Like you've mentioned, what you study a lot of those other industries and what they're doing that makes them stand out and be successful.
You got it right. And one of the best things you give to clients when you go out is protein shakes. Chocolate protein shake. I'm going to tell you, the secret is the Shark shake. They love it. Oh, and it's the protein I use too. They're like, dude, Shark, that's good. I'm like, shit, bro. I'm not going to give you cheap shit. I'm going to give you the same stuff. There's that bond right there. You're getting a contract signed, or if you already have one, they're like, can you send me more of this? So something they can use. Nobody wants a stress ball. Nobody wants a cheap gym bag that, can fall apart. Can you put your pickleball stuff
save your
in
money.
I mean, save your money. No coffee mugs. No coffee mugs anymore. Come on.
No coffee mugs. I mean, I've gotten a few nice ones, but no coffee mugs, no stress balls. Honestly, no socks, no t-shirts. Come up with other things.
You know what's funny is some of these clients I go in and they're off, dude, we'll just hit the bar and have a couple drinks at 3:00. I drink with most of my clients. People's like, oh, well, dude, you got to do it this day and age. That's part of being part of your family. So when another staffing firm goes in, AIM, they're like, dude, I'm with the Shark. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And that's what building that community is about, and being different. I mean, we can say this over and over about being different, Amy, but there's so many different ways. I think the biggest thing is you got to find what's good for you.
Yeah.
And we always say, what's your audience like? Well, you have to study your audience. Don't assume this. I think we all assume in our industry, this is what our audience wants. Maybe they don't want that. Do we ever go out and ask the clients and the candidates what they want? Did we ever do a survey seriously with the clients and see why staffing kind of sucks, they say? We should, right? That would be a great survey.
Yeah. And on the both on the candidate side, on the talent side, but also on the client side, right? There's all these stats nowadays that to, I think, some extent are confounding staffing experts, I'll say, in that the number of job openings is still pretty high, but the utilization of staffing services is low and sometimes even in the red. It's like, why do you think that is? Why don't you go ask, have the difficult conversation? But by doing that, you may have developed such a more beautiful relationship had you otherwise just gone and dropped off some donuts or whatever else to that client. Actually sitting down and talking to them and hearing their concerns and their hesitancy and what's weighing on them at night, what's keeping them up, what are the biggest things that are driving them, and that you could possibly through that conversation help solve.
Exactly. Plus,
it's trust. Ally.
Plus, it's trust too. You got to be friendly with him. You got to joke. I always joke at the end of the day, like if I'm dealing with HR, and sometimes maybe we'll cuss, we'll say the F word back and forth a couple of times. That's good stuff because so many people get disconnected in our industry where they say, "Oh, I don't want to hurt that person. I'm just waiting to see if they want to hire that candidate or not." Call them up, call them out, say, "Hey, are you gonna place them or not. I mean, that's what we got to be like these days. And I think that disconnect between the candidate, the client, and the recruiter is they're never on the same page. You ever notice that, Amy? I mean, we're getting a little bit off, but it's like a triangle. I mean, we got to get them all on the same page.
Maybe we should have a little summit with the three of them. Yeah, a little triad summit with the three of them, just to hear from the three perspectives. I mean, they do that all the time with generational individuals to help understand what's going on in each of their minds. Let's hear from all three and create a forum. And we might walk away having learned something that we hadn't otherwise thought about that's on their minds.
Call it the Royal Rumble, right? Can we use that name? Here we go, right?
I love it. Yes.
The Royal Rumble. Whatever the client says or the candidate says, don't get offended. Remember, at the end of the day, you just took a course. It's all about, hey, we want to know what's wrong with us so we can be better. What are we lacking? We all lack stuff. We all have a story.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hard on the issue, soft on the person. I think that's the thing that can be really helpful when we think about it. People aren't good or bad. They just sometimes exhibit some not so great behaviors, but it's not who they are. It's how they act.
So, Aim, I got to ask you real quick before we get out of here, and we're already at 21 minutes, so what is your take on this? I rambled on about what do you think that some of these staffing firms, recruiting firms need to do to really up their game to be creative? And we talk about, it's the same. If you Google, it's the same things. I'm going to tell you real quick what it says. Know your audience, stay active, respond promptly, AI generated content, be a storyteller. That is so generic. That tells you nothing, basically. It's like, be a storyteller or what? Winnie the Pooh? I mean,
you know what, Richard? I'll do a shameless plug in the moment since you set me up. Thank you.
I know. I did that on purpose. You know that.
Thanks, pal. I will say that if you're struggling with getting clients or keeping candidates around, I would say reach out to me, because we have a whole workshop that we put together that is all about helping you unleash your advantage. Get it? FAN, advantage, to help you identify and create raving fans and repeat customers and repeat candidates, to really help you identify what truly can help you stand out and differentiate from the rest of the pack. Not the things that you think are differentiators, because heads up, 98% of your competitors are also saying that those are their differentiators as well. Your differentiators are not your technology. It is not even, to a certain point, your value prop that you, or your mission that you,
or the ATS system you have. Nope.
Those are not your differentiators.
Your logo.
Trust me. I've been around for too long.
Woo.
It's basically all the same. So how can you stand out, and things that you can do? But really, a lot of that starts with getting clear, getting curious, being willing to try and throw out ideas, regardless of how ridiculous they may sound or seem at the time, and being courageous to try them. And if they fall flat, to try again. That would be my biggest advice to start with. And if you feel like you're struggling with that with your team, to get comfortable in that courage, in that curiosity, in that trust, holler at your girl here. Let me know. I would love to help you and help you get clarity on that, so that you can stand out and thrive in what is going to continue to be a pretty challenging and evolving world and staffing industry. It's not going to change, but you can rise above it, and you can be the one that stands the winner at the end, that holds the championship belt at the end.
So I'm going to sum it up like this. You'll love this. You know what it means for be a G thing. We know what that means, right? Yeah. Be a G thing. And what Amy's talking about, I've already done it, so I know if the shark already has it. So yeah, it's something seriously that I think is going to be a game changer moving forward for a lot of industries. And we haven't even touched this yet in our industry. We have not even come close. Yeah.
Tap into the genius of your people, and then be curious and courageous enough to try some things that at face value seem silly or not on brand, but they will help you stand out and help you become the have a group of raving fans in your corner.
There it is.
Like you have behind you.
Nothing but a G thing, baby. That's what it's all about. Reach out to Amy. Oh my goodness. Hey, I had a blast, Amy. We got this done. Now I got to get on a boat here and have some fun. 90-degree weather. Got my SPF 50 ready for me. So
good.
This is great stuff. We'll have to deep dive into this a little bit more about this. And if anybody's out there, seriously, reach out to myself or Amy. I'm always here to make everyone shine. At the end of the day, we're not going to tell you everything is perfect, but we can guide you in the right way because we're thinking outside the box. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Outside the ring, right?
Outside the ring.
Woo! All right, that's it. That's a wrap for this week. You StaffingManiacs. Woo!
I know.
Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you next week.